Hello there, people of the internet. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. So me and my arsenal of military surplus weaponry, I have a lot of pretty old guns, right? And very often I'll come across somebody who either knows what I do, or maybe they're a friend, or maybe they're family, or somebody who knows what's up with what I have going on. And they're like, "You're crazy for shooting all those old guns." And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean?" He's like, "They're so old." And I figured I'd go ahead and I'd make a video on this topic here, because this is a pretty common misconception that I come across very regularly. Real quick, sorry for the interruption, but I'm trying to get Patreon and Utreon support to assist me with making more content like what you're watching right here. So if you want to help me make more content and make it more often, then Utreon and Patreon links are in the description below. Obviously, the things I'm doing here are not free, and much of it is not cheap. So I would like to be able to do more, but I need support to do it. So like I said, links below. The age of a firearm does not always necessarily matter, especially if the firearm is in good working order and if you're using the proper ammunition for that particular firearm. Now, there are some caveats to this. We'll go ahead and dive into that here in just a second. But I want to say that we're talking with the previous generation of weaponry. Here in the next 100 years, maybe the plastic on a Glock is going to, deteriorate or turn brittle or something like that. And maybe Glocks won't be, Glocks from 100 years ago won't be safe to shoot. Whereas firearms from 100 years ago at this point in time are very much safe to shoot if you have the appropriate setup to be able to shoot them, if the gun's in good working order, if you're using appropriate ammunition, etc., etc. This right here is a really good example. This right here is an 1873 Springfield. This particular one was made in 1882. That puts it at 140 years old as of filming. This is 2022. I believe that's good, but maybe I'm not mathing properly. But this is a really, really old gun, right? And a lot of people that I talk to, I mean, they don't even want to shoot my stuff from World War II because they say, hey, that's incredibly old, let alone something from the 1800s, let alone something from near the middle of the 1800s, let alone the later 1800s. But I went with the trapdoor as my example here because these firearms can be sketchy with modern loadings and modern ammunition, and if you don't know what you're doing, then if you don't know what you're doing with these rifles, you absolutely do not want to take them out and fire them. They're just not made for the pressures that modern 4570 has come to become. 4570 is an incredibly powerful and potent round, especially with modern loadings. And this rifle design, which emanated from 1873, with some caveats behind that if you want to learn the actual history of this rifle. I think I actually put up a video on it at one point or another, so go ahead and go check out that in the channel. But as time goes on and technology gets better and better and better, we're still using the same old school cartridges, just with new modern technology. And that new modern technology burns at way, way, way higher pressures than what something like this was originally designed to handle. Because whenever this was designed, the ammunition that we use nowadays just simply didn't exist. This was actually designed and created during the days of black powder, and black powder burns at significantly lower pressures than smokeless powder. And you get yourself a modern cartridge, which is a really, really, really hot smokeless powder round, shove it in this and you're going to have yourself a bad time. Now, there are some smokeless powder loadings that you can safely load into this stuff, but you can't load them too hot. I mean, I'm not going to go into the specifications on loading for this particular rifle, but my point is, if you're using safe ammunition and your rifle is in good working order, then it does not matter the age. Now, that being said, metalwork way back in the day was not as good as metalwork of what we have nowadays, but we're also not having to deal with deterioration of plastic. So, as you can see, this rifle, despite being 140 years old, very much is still in working order, especially whenever I start showing this off. If you checked out the other video, you've already seen me shoot this thing. Open this up, all of this is functional. Lock work, fantastic. Trigger mechanism, good. Firing pin also works. The one caveat I have with this is the sight on this is a little on the messed up side, but for a 140-year-old rifle, it gets a pass from me. So the lockup on this is, I mean, just everything in this seems to be in good working order. It's got tight tolerances, not a not even a fraction of a millimeter of play in anything on this rifle. So this rifle is absolutely safe to shoot despite its age, especially if you're using the proper ammunition. So that being said, the ammunition that I will currently be using today is black powder ammunition, and this rifle is absolutely way more than capable of handling the ammunition that we are going to be firing today. But it is not period correct ammunition. Period correct would be 45 caliber bullet, 70 grains black powder, 405 grain bullet. I have a 150 grain bullet in this bad boy. So we are going to be getting more velocities than the original cartridge, but with this being black powder, you're still pretty damn limited on the capabilities of what the rifle would be able to run. And with this being black powder, I will have to clean this rifle afterwards, so I'll likely make several videos today with my 4570 here. But I just wanted to come out to the range and put some rounds down range. And talking about this particular subject was a really good excuse for me to come out and record it. So 140-year-old rifle, I have checked it out, I have already shot it, I'm using appropriate ammunition for it. There's absolutely no reason why this rifle would be unsafe to fire. Now that being said, let's fire it and see if it explodes here. Oh, we did not explode, and we even hit our target. Hell yeah. So get that 4570 shell out of there, and now I could load another round. This right here is reloadable brass 4570, so I do save my brass cartridges. You know, I have several friends that would like freak out over shooting something like this just because of how old it is. And like way more often than not, people think that because a firearm is extremely old, like the older it gets, the more dangerous it gets. And as long as it's in good working order, and it's not dealing with any like significant rust pitting and the stock isn't destroyed and whatnot. As you can see, this stock, which is from 1882, it has the stamp literally on the side of the rifle. This stock from 140 years ago is still, I mean, there's not even a crack in it. It's still in very much good working order. And as you can see, she also still shoots. Boy, even with, well, with the 405 grain bullet, this thing definitely has some recoil behind it, but even with the 150 grain bullet, it still has quite a bit of recoil behind it. But boy, is it fun to shoot. And let's send another round downrange just because I feel so confident in this rifle's ability to handle the ammunition that we're firing here. And we even hit our target, hell yeah. Even though this is black powder, with the ammunition that we're rocking, it's not going to be nearly as powerful as like modern day cartridges, but this is still absolutely not a slouch in terms of power and the amount of force that is being transferred downrange. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go grab a water jug and we'll test out just how powerful this actually is. Okay, so I've got a couple of different targets that I want to try out here. First, we have ourselves a water jug. I'd like to find out how powerful this is because I would love to take this rifle here out hunting this year. And I want to know if a 150 grain bullet would be enough out of this right here to handle what it is that I'm wanting to handle. I'm betting that it absolutely will. But before I go making that assumption, let's find out. Now I will likely get myself some actual 405 grain bullets to be able to shove through this thing. But for right now, I don't have any of those. So 150 grain projectile it is. Now this is just lead ammunition that I'm using here, so it's nothing special. It's not like it's a jacketed bullet or anything like that. Send around. Oh God. Oh, that thing's been turned into mist. Well, that no longer exists. They say matter cannot be created nor destroyed. I'm calling bullshit. Okay, I actually have another target here I want to try out. I have a bowling pin that I got from a local bowling alley. I've shot one of these before on the channel with a 44 Magnum, and it did not penetrate. I want to see if this 4570 black powder round with a lead bullet will make it through this. I have no idea, but I know a fantastic way to find out. This really was legitimately turned into just a pile of rubble. All right, well, let's send a 4570 round at this bowling pin and see what happens. Is there another YouTube video where somebody has shot a bowling pin with a 4570 from a trapdoor Springfield? I'm willing to bet Hickok 45 did that. But it's not a bad take on being second place. I think that's a good way to put that. Let's send some ammo in this thing. Oh, mama! Man, this has some hefty recoil behind it. Let's check this out. Okay. All right. Well, we didn't hit dead center, but where we did hit, it did pass through. This was an unscathed bowling pin, and now we have one entrance and one exit wound. Let's hit it again. I'll see if I can get a little bit more center, and we'll see if it passes through. I can already tell that today is going to be a very fun day. And I'm already shooting this thing, so I may as well shoot it a bunch, because after only a single round, it's black powder. So you have to clean it. May as well enjoy it. All right, I feel like that was a more center shot. Tell you what, we laid this thing into the dirt. Yep, that hit exactly where I wanted it to hit. No way. No way. All right, so here's where we shot. I was aiming for the B, and I hit exactly where I wanted to hit with that thing. And we have ourselves the original exit wound, but look, it stopped the round. This bowling pin just stopped a 45-70. That's insane. That is literally insane. I was not expecting that. I was expecting the 45-70 round to just kind of smoke right through this bowling pin. That's crazy. Oh, great. Now my brass is all dirty. Well, I guess it's, you know, loaded with black powder, so it's going to get dirty anyway. All right, well, thanks for watching, folks. As you can see, as long as your firearm is in good working order, if you don't know if it's in good working order, then don't shoot it. Take it to a competent gunsmith and have them overlook the thing and make sure that there's no, you know, hairline cracks and any locking surfaces or anything like that. But as long as it's in good working order and you're using appropriate ammunition, then hey, you can go ahead and shoot your incredibly old firearm, which is exactly what I'm doing here. This is a 45-70 trapdoor Springfield from 1882. So yeah, this right here is an incredibly old rifle, and it is still holding up over the very long test of time that it has been witness to. And as you can see, not only does it still fire reliably and accurately, but it still has plenty of power behind it. So the age of the rifle does not matter much. It matters a lot less than people make it out to matter. So hey folks, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Go down to the description. You'll find a bunch of links to all sorts of stuff. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel. That being said, I don't have anything else to add here, so I'm going to go grab myself some more firearms and make myself another video. Probably have myself some lunch, because I'm starting to feel the hunger of not eating all day. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Now I have to wash this bad boy. A few more videos with it first, though, because I have more ammunition for it. You guys go off, like I said, have yourself a fantastic day and enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. Shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.